to another week of Unpacked. We are in week 6.
Woohoo! Week 6! Let's go!
We are going strong, and soon it'll be coming to a close, but I don't want to think about that yet. I've been enjoying every moment with you and every moment with you. I've had this extended guest of mine. He's my favorite guest, and I love him, Tim Ross.
I love you, baby. I love you.
Yeah, you can clap for him. There you go.
Yes.
Okay, we are in week 6. We made it.
Yes, week 6.
Oh my goodness. Okay. The title of Sunday's sermon was called Help Each Other.
Mm-hmm.
This is right after week 5. You talked about submission.
Yeah, that's right.
So now after we've submitted, we got to help each other.
Got to help each other.
All
yeah,
right.
That's right.
So let's review what you talked about on Sunday.
Okay.
Help each other. It seems like a really simple title, but it was a powerful, powerful sermon.
Thank you.
You did a great job.
Thank
honey.
you, baby.
Again, you listen to the things that I teach you.
Yes, I
You're
do.
Such a good husband.
Yes, thank you, baby. I try.
Yeah.
I try.
Okay, we're back in Ephesians.
Yes.
Ephesians 5 and 25 through about verse 28, correct?
25, 26, 27.
27. All right, sounds good.
Yep.
So we're talking about how, where it says Christ gave himself, and this is what husbands need to be doing. They need to be giving themselves like Christ gave himself for the church.
Right.
And I think you really tried to break down gave.
Yes.
Yeah, you broke down gave, and you had 3 points as always.
Yep.
Okay. And the first point was what? Jesus helped us out of our past.
That's right.
I don't know if you know this, but I reinterpreted your points.
Did you?
I did. I rewrote your points.
Okay.
You gave the points, and then I gave it a different name.
Okay. All right.
That's just because I wanted to. But
Okay.
we'll get there.
Okay.
So, but your first point was
Wow.
what?
I can't wait to hear your points.
They're easy. They're
Okay.
easy.
All right.
They're
All right.
easy.
All right. This is
I
hilarious.
mean, it's your same points. But
All right.
Let me see. What did I say? Okay. Yours was what? Your first point was what? Help me out of my past?
Yeah, help me out of my past.
All right. And then what I said was, don't hurt your help.
Don't hurt your help.
Don't hurt your help.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because you talked about what God has done. What has Christ done for us?
Yeah.
He has helped us
Yeah.
in all of our past struggles.
That's
and all
right.
of it. He saved us
Right.
in the hopes.
That's correct.
And he is constantly helping us from our past.
Right.
But also, that is what our spouse is there for as well.
Right.
As we unpack our bags
That's
from
right.
week 4.
Right. Come on.
We are
Time all together. I'm
got
with you.
I got you.
Yes.
As we submitting one to another.
That's right.
Week 5.
Let's go.
Okay. Now we're helping each other out.
Yep.
We've come to a place now where we've heard each other.
Yep.
We have submitted to each other.
Yep.
And now we're receiving each other, and we're being very vulnerable to say, let me help you with what you've presented to me.
Right.
Right?
Right.
We've unpacked it.
Right.
We've submitted it.
Yep.
Now, let me help you in this next phase
That's good.
of our life. Now,
That's great.
here's the problem that I'm having. I've had this problem for some time. And so now I'm submitting this to you because help me walk through this.
Right.
My past problems.
Right.
I.e. point 1.
Yeah.
Help me out of my past.
That's right.
But we also talked about allowing the spouse to help you through the process.
That's good.
And so the reason why I interpreted his point 1 is don't hurt your help.
Yeah.
Is because we're trying to help you walk through it. So don't be mad at me.
That's good.
Don't bite me.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
Don't bark at me.
Yeah.
Don't get offended if I tell you something that's about you.
Right.
Right? And
Especially
you're taking it.
Especially if you invited it.
Especially if you invited it.
That's right.
Especially if we've had these vulnerable moments.
Right.
We're sharing and we're submitting. Now, when I try to help you and you don't like the way I help you, you want to be all defensive.
Right.
Now we're back at square one.
Right.
So that was my end.
No, I love that. I mean, I'm thinking about just something as simple as, a married couple could be trying to hold each other accountable on a certain weight goal, right?
Yeah.
And if you see me eating carbs, I'm supposed to be doing Whole30, but if you see me eating a slice of bread and then you're like, okay, I'll hold you accountable on it. And then a day later, you trying to sneak a Twinkie, and they're like, hey, are you supposed to be having that? Don't be worried about what I'm eating. And you're just sitting there like, but you asked for my help.
This is
so
true.
don't hurt your help. I love that. You
Yeah.
can remix any of my points anytime you want to.
I just thought it'd be fun to do today.
No, that's really good.
Yeah, don't hurt the help.
Yeah.
And I think I want to talk about that a bit more because I think we hurt our help often. I think we often hurt our help because two ways and two folds of that. I think we sometimes don't know how to receive the help, right? And I think the other time, sometimes the helper can be a little rough around the edges, right? And so they are trying to help, but maybe they're not as polished. Maybe they don't know how to help. They're really trying, and really to their core, they are fundamentally wanting for you to be the best you. But maybe their tone, maybe their delivery, maybe their actions are off. And you all haven't maybe communicated well enough to say, let's talk about how you're helping me, right? So if this is the way you're helping me, it's really making me frustrated right now. So I'm gonna receive what you're saying, but maybe how you're saying it to me is difficult to receive from you, right? So I think some of those are the things we need to make sure that we talk about is how you're helping, right? And making sure that we can decipher, okay, you know what? They're used to saying it this way. They're used to, but let me tell them, I hear what you're saying. You say it a little rough. And so prior to today, I wouldn't receive from you because of how you would say it.
Right.
But now since we're submitting, now we've unpacked, now we're being vulnerable. I want to tell you that the way you speak to me makes me shut down. But I do want your help. But when you say this, or when you yell, or when you look at me crazy, it makes me want to not respond to you.
Well, let's deal with that because delivery is incredibly important.
Yes.
Tonality is incredibly important.
Yes.
Nobody wants help from someone who doesn't know how to deliver it.
Correct.
Nobody wants help from somebody that doesn't watch their tone.
That's right.
Their facial expressions, their body language.
All of it.
All of that is incredibly important.
Yeah. All of it is communication.
All of it is communication. Yes. And so we've actually done as an exercise for people in marital counseling, if body language is something that you can't control and you're just a very demonstrative person, you can't stop eye rolling, you can't stop doing all this stuff, we will literally have spouses sit back to back and talk where they can't see each other.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I did that.
Was I in there when you did that?
I thought you were in for one of those.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. So I would have the spouses sit back to back, and then I would have them talk, and it was amazing.
That's so good.
How their tone changed because they weren't looking at each other.
That's good, baby.
And sometimes if you're used to body language and frowning faces, all of this stuff can be triggers.
Yes, it can.
And so when I want people to focus just on communication, I'll have them sit back to back.
I love it.
Another thing I'll do, if people are carrying a lot of tension in their bodies, I'll have both the spouses lay down. Because it's hard to have an attitude.
That's true.
Laying flat on your back.
To the back.
Right,
yes.
and especially if you talk like this and I didn't
mean... You're just gonna be up this way.
Right. Yeah, exactly. When you're laying down and you put people in a comfortable position and then you say, now explain yourself, and then it's like, I was just mad because, whereas they sitting up, I was mad. You know, you get them to lay down
true.
and they're just like, oh, well, I was just mad because such and such. So,
and maybe that's the thing we can tell couples. If you're going to argue, lay down first.
Lay down.
Lay down and argue and see if that changes the way.
Again, if you don't know how to, communication takes your whole body, right? And so if you've worked on your tone, but you haven't worked on your face,
yeah.
And if you've worked on your face and your tone, but you haven't worked on your body language, right? If you're sitting like this, that projects defensiveness.
That's
you know what I mean? If you're not fully engaged. So there's a lot of techniques out there, but I really do believe that not hurting your help is going to be vital to you getting the help that you need.
Yeah. And I think sometimes we hurt the help. In a good situation, we're hurting our help because we don't want to admit that they're right.
And that's pride.
It's all it is pride.
Listen.
It's all it is.
If there's one thing that's going to be destroyed as two become one, it's your pride and your ego. Just count on it.
Yeah.
You're going to be wrong about some stuff. You're going to be right about some stuff. You're going to hear some stuff that you don't want to hear. You're gonna hear some truth about yourself that you don't want to admit. The quicker you let go of your pride and your ego, the quicker you're gonna overcome those hurdles that stand in the way of you helping each other.
Yeah.
But if you have a lot of pride, if you have a big ego, you can't be wrong. Nobody can tell you nothing. You got to come to the conclusion yourself. I appreciate the tip, but when I'm ready, I will.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You pointed it out, duly noted. I'll work on that when I'm good and ready, because ain't nobody gonna tell me what.
Yeah.
If you got all that in your spirit, you just need to be at the altar.
You need to go kick rocks.
Yeah, you need to be purged, right, of yourself. Because again, your spouse is there to help you.
Yeah.
Don't make it hard.
Yeah.
Don't hurt the help.
Yeah. And I know that there are many spouses out there, whether it's the male or the female in the relationship, that they do feel like they're getting bit at.
Yeah.
They're getting bit at every time that they are trying to help.
Yeah.
And one spouse is barking.
Yeah.
It's just barking at them. And it's hard to, or I'm sure they find it quite difficult to want to deal with somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a turnoff for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost as if you keep this part of the relationship in an imbalance, because now one is really trying to help get the marriage better, and the other one is still fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So you either want it to work or you don't.
Right.
You guys need to be self-aware of your actions. We said it a few weeks ago. You're aware of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You are quite aware. And if you love your pride, and if you love your ego more than you love your spouse, then go marry your ego and let your spouse be great.
Ooh. Okay.
It's the truth.
Go marry your ego.
Go marry your ego and let it comfort you.
Put that in the chat. Go let your ego comfort you. Ooh. Ooh, I want to co-sign so bad on that.
Co-sign?
No, not in like a nothing bad. I just, a lot of people like the thought of marriage.
They do.
They love marriage in theory.
Mm-hmm. The idea.
Right? They love the idea of it because they saw a sitcom and they went and rewatched Friends. And you know what I mean? They watched old episodes of Cosby and Martin and Gina got married at the end, and you know what I mean? Whatever they're watching, right?
Everybody Loves Raymond.
Everybody Loves Raymond, King of Queens, all the stuff that we used to watch growing up. And
I loved King of Queens, by the way.
And the reason they're entertained by a marriage that was scripted.
That's right.
But they refuse to write their own script.
That's right. That's right.
We had to write a script to make our marriage work.
To make our marriage work.
Right?
But it's not duplicated from a TV show.
That's exactly right. It's informed by scripture.
That's right.
And journaled by us in a way that helps us to grow.
Yeah.
And so I'm just amazed at how many people love the theory of marriage, but the application, the moment you have to do something, the moment you're inconvenienced, the moment you feel like, well, I did it for 2 days. I don't see why. I did that already.
Yeah.
It's like, you're lazy.
Yeah.
Like, you just want this fantasy that doesn't exist.
That's what most people think marriage is. It's this fantasy that they've created in their head, and then they silently project it on their spouse.
That's exactly right.
And when their spouse isn't fulfilling this silent fantasy that they did not communicate, now they're upset and unhappy.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. It's exactly right.
It's unfair. It's unfair.
Yep.
It's unfair. And again, you are wasting people's time. You are wasting their lives, committing them to something because you don't want to communicate and you want to be selfish.
Yeah.
It drives me insane.
Well, it's like it was like what I said on Sunday. If that's the game you want to play,
right,
play by yourself.
Go be by your lonesome.
Go. Like another person doesn't, because again, at this point, you are doing something that is not within the realm of what Christ would do for his bride, that the bride, in a way that the bride is supposed to respond to Christ.
Yes.
Next week, I'm talking about divorce. And I can't wait to talk about divorce in the church, because the biggest misconception is that because we're married and we both love Jesus, we won't get divorced, or divorce is not an option.
Yeah.
But 50% of Christian marriages end in divorce.
That's right.
So it clearly is an option.
It is an option.
Right?
Yeah.
But there's a reason why people got there.
Yeah.
And one of the main reasons they get there is they stopped helping each other out.
They did.
Or they refused the help.
That's right.
That was afforded to them. They shunned the help. They pushed back the help. They fought against the help. They hurt the help.
They hurt the help.
And so it is it's a big burden for both of us.
Yeah.
Juliette and I, we are fighters, right? But
we are.
But we can't fight. We fought for our marriage.
Yes.
Like this is 22 years of empirical data, right? We've been through it all. This is battle tested.
That's
this
right.
Is not.
That's right.
We're not 3 years into marriage. Like, hey, it's just so good.
Yeah.
And
We've done our push-ups.
We've done
our push-ups,
sit-ups,
Oh,
squats.
Yeah. Been in the boxing ring.
We've done all of that, okay? And so we know what it takes.
We know
right?
what it
we
takes.
know the grit of it. We know we know the stench of it.
That's right.
We know all of it. So when we're talking to an audience, when we're talking to people in person, the exhortation comes with a lot of passion.
It does.
Because we know it takes work.
Yes.
And you cannot be lazy and have a good marriage. It's impossible.
Yes.
It's impossible for you to put the marriage on autopilot and y'all gonna come up happy, healed, whole, ready to meet Jesus.
Yeah.
Like it's just not gonna happen like that.
Yeah.
So it takes work. It takes intentionality.
Yes.
It takes repetition. It takes
sleepless nights.
It takes sleepless nights. Tears.
It's gonna take all of the things.
All the things.
All right?
All of them.
Be ready for it.
Yeah.
Because you're a person and they're a person.
Yeah.
We got their stuff, each other's stuff to deal with.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna encourage you to quit crying. And I don't mean quit crying the tears of the hurts. Quit crying that you don't want to do the work.
Go ahead, girl.
Stop the crying.
Yeah.
Stop the whining. I tell my kids all the time. It is a thing that my kids will tell you. I'm like, I don't do whining. I can't tolerate whiny kids. I'm like, go sit down. Go sit down. I won't use your words.
Yeah.
And speak to me what you need. I won't deal with whining. Oh, I can't. But I hear it when adults.
Yes.
I expect it from kids.
Yes.
I expect it from kids. I do tell my kids, I don't want to hear no whining. But adults is the worst.
Yeah.
And married couples is the worst. Don't come this way unless you want to do the work.
Yeah.
If you are not ready to do the work, then go sit down.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Now, we are in a series talking to Christ-centered led couples, but there are, again, many people that are watching who maybe one of them is saved and one of the spouses not, okay? One, maybe both of them are just new to Christ. Maybe one is new to Christ. You know, maybe your marriage has come from an unsafe place coming into new and there's been a lot of baggage and trouble, or one of them is there. It's difficult, okay? It's difficult. And if that is the case for you, I'm going to continue to encourage you to make sure that you all seek guidance and use the resources that we have on the screen and call, because it is going to be slightly more difficult, if I'm being honest, for you to take this. I want you to grab the hope in everything that we're giving. But when one spouse is not doing their part or even wanting to go to counseling, but wanted to do that, you still do your part.
That's right.
And you get good, godly guidance from someone that can help you going forward. But sometimes there's trouble in paradise. There's trouble if both of you are on the same page.
Yes, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's trouble sometimes when both of you are saved.
Yeah.
So this is work that you have to do regardless.
That's good.
You know.
Can you tag me, please?
Boom.
Because I got
Tag you
something
in.
to say.
Tell me, baby. Tell me.
Write it down. Put it in the chat wherever you need to. Embrace your seasons.
Yeah.
As a married couple, you have to embrace your seasons. After 22 years, we have been through the seasons multiple times. There is spring, there is summer, there is autumn, and there is winter. There is spring, there is summer, there is fall, there is winter. There is spring, there is summer, there is fall, there is winter. Springtime, everything's new, it's fresh, And you go through cycles of this in a marriage.
Yes.
Where everything's new and fresh, and it's like, oh my goodness, like I met you for the first time, and I just love you, and oh, come here.
Yeah.
Right? And it's green, and the birds are chirping, and the bees are buzzing, and the flowers are blooming. It's happy.
Beautiful.
And then you go from spring, and then it's just summer. It is hot.
Yeah.
Muy caliente.
Steamy.
Steamy.
Fire.
Passionate. Fire. Just on sight when I see you.
That's in another week.
Going down.
Another couple of weeks.
Yeah, when we talk about sex.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to talk about it like some grown folks and do it.
I'll be under the couch there.
That girl act like she ashamed. She ain't ashamed. Don't try to get modest now, girl.
Oh, no.
We're going to talk about it.
My grandmother always told
Your
me.
grandmama. Don't get me started on your grandma. So
got like 12 kids.
Got 12 kids. Stop it. So that summertime is hot, it's passionate, right?
Yeah.
That could be in a sexual way, that could be an emotional way, that could be a relational way. But then fall comes. You know what happens in the fall? Things change. What was green is now brown.
Yep.
And what was up is now down.
That's good, baby. That's good.
And things start simply changing.
Yes.
Right? And that happens over days, weeks, months, years, decades.
Yes.
Things change. And your tastes change, and your appetites change, and your career paths could change.
Your body's changing.
Your body is changing. And I was 23, she was 20 when we got married. I was eating cereal by the box, okay, with some regular cow milk.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch all day. I don't know what happens when you turn 30. Lactose just turns into a nuclear bomb in your stomach, and I can't have no cow's milk no more.
No.
Or it'll just be deadly.
It's now almond milk.
Almond milk.
Keto diet.
Yeah, all this stuff,
paleo.
okay? So stuff changes. But it's going to change, and embrace it. Don't be shocked. I can't believe you changed.
If it's a positive change.
Yeah, if it's a positive change,
if it's a positive
right?
change.
But it could be a body change.
Yeah.
Right? And you might not categorize that as positive or negative. It's just a change.
Yeah.
Your hair could change. Your hairline could change. Okay? The volume of your hair could change.
That's
okay?
true.
Your weight is gonna change.
That's right.
Your teeth might change.
That's
you might need.
true.
There's a lot of stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a season that is coming.
Yes.
There's nothing you can avoid. It's just gonna come. And then you gotta embrace winter.
Yeah.
There's gonna be seasons in your marriage where it's just cold.
Yeah.
As hot as it was in summer.
Yeah.
Get a coat.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
Because I like you and I'm glad we're friends. Because it's chilly up in here.
Yeah.
And we ain't naked because it's hot. We bundled up.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so don't run away from the season. Run into it. There's two types of people in summer. It's hot. And oh my goodness, I get to wear shorts.
That's right.
And a tank top, right?
It's the perspective.
They embrace it.
That's right.
Two type of people in winter. It's so cold. Turn the heater up. Everybody else putting on mittens.
That's right.
Gloves.
Perspective.
Parka jackets and running outside, throwing snow everywhere.
That's right.
So
yeah, no.
You're about to say that.
I know.
Go ahead.
But I actually want to go back to fall really quick.
Go to
because
fall.
You were talking about change, and there was something that you said on Sunday, which I really love that you said. You said, the person you married at first shouldn't be the same person they are now. There should be a change.
That's absolutely correct.
In that person.
Yes.
They shouldn't be the same person. Like, you still shouldn't just be eating bowls of cereal and beans and rice.
Right. Right.
From 20 years later.
Yeah.
There needs to be some sort of growth.
Right.
There was somebody recently that I saw, and it wasn't a judgment, it was just something that I noticed. And I saw this man and I thought, man, you haven't changed. In all the years that I've known you, you are still doing the exact same thing. And there hadn't been any growth really in his life at all. He just aged, but just aged doing the repeated same thing. And I just thought to myself, gosh, that must be boring. Now, we're talking about change because some change is good, some change is change, but there should be a growth.
Absolutely.
A
Lord
growing. A growing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're making the same amount of dollars you were making 20 years ago, you know, if you just, your conversation is the exact same. Like there's not been any sign of maturity. There hasn't been any sign of adulting. There hasn't been any sign of positive growth. Then how is that adding to anybody's life?
So,
do you remember when you said that? You talked about that on Sunday.
I did. Yeah. And the reason why that resonates with me is, you know, I just lost a dear friend of mine.
Yes.
He was shot and killed.
Yep.
But he was shot and killed at a club. And when I got the news, after I kind of broke down and cried, my first thought was, what year is this? Yeah. I went clubbing with him late teens, early 20s. How is we still...
Why are we still there?
We still at a club? We clubbing in our 40s? And he was trying to break up a fight. He's a noble guy.
Yeah.
He's a good man. But you was at a club at 45 years old? You were clubbing? There's nothing wrong with going to have a good time, but come on. From the windows to the walls? 45 years old? What is we doing with our whole life? We got nothing else to do. But to that point, you can get stuck in a rut.
Yes.
Now, let me tell you something.
That's good.
Ruts are not bad.
Getting stuck in it is.
Getting stuck in it is. When you have a rut, it leaves a groove. That means you consistently do the same thing all the time. There's some ruts that are fantastic.
That's right. There's some consistencies that are great.
Yeah, there should be some etches and grooves in your life that are there, that have been worn in because we pass through here a lot.
That's right.
We do this a lot.
Yes.
We watch shows a lot.
That's right. That's not what I'm talking about.
That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And so ruts are not our issue.
Right.
Getting stuck in ruts is our issue.
Yes. Good, baby.
When I would never fathom changing this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We just changed out all of our furniture.
Yeah.
Just imagine if for 20 years we're like, no, we just like this couch. I don't care. No. It's just I just got a sentimental attachment to it.
My great-great-grandmother had it. My great-grandmother had it.
Yes.
My it's got to stay. I love it.
I just thought about this. This is like, oh my goodness.
Come on.
This is so prevalent
Give us the oh my goodness.
In a lot of marriages. I can't throw that away.
Yeah.
Some of us are emotional hoarders.
Yeah, that's right.
I felt that thing.
That's right.
Some of us are emotional hoarders.
It's the truth.
To where we can't move on into another aspect of the relationship because we did this, and if we're not doing this anymore, then who are we?
Yeah, they find their identity
in this season, in this space.
That's
and if that were to change, I question the whole relationship.
Yeah.
No. There's some things that emotionally you got to move on from. Relationally, you have to move on from. You
have to release it.
You have to release some friends.
Yes, absolutely.
They'll hold you back. They'll be a bad influence. You show me 3 other couples that you connect with, and I'll show you your entire future.
100%.
And if they are all on your level or below, you the leader.
That's right.
You're not going to grow.
Don't be the smartest person in the room.
You cannot be the smartest person in the room. You need other relationships to help you understand this is where I want to grow to.
That's right.
This is the next level I want to get to.
And help you mature.
Absolutely.
Yes.
My parents, I mean, you know, a lot of people over the last few weeks are like, oh my goodness, relationship goals. Oh my goodness, Tim and Juliette. My relationship goals is Charles and Maxine Ross.
Yeah.
That's 47 years. That's amazing.
It's beautiful.
They
have a beautiful marriage. They are just wonderful.
And they've been through winter, spring, summer, and fall.
Winter, spring, summer, and fall again.
For
a million times over.
4 decades.
Yes.
So if they were to get on these couches,
I need to see if they'll come on the show.
You need to.
We'll see.
You need to be careful. You let them start talking.
Listen, I'll just have my popcorn right here.
Yeah,
say all the things, Mom and Dad.
But those are I have other people in my life that I'm looking to and getting information from and going, oh, this is what this feels like. Yeah. But you have to be willing to let go of some things, even if it was good for a season of the marriage.
Yes.
In order for it to grow, there has to be some change.
There has to be some change. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, point 2. So point 1 was, I need help from my past.
That's right.
Number 2 is I need help in my present.
That's right.
Okay.
Help me in my present.
Help me in my present. Jesus is a ever-present help. Okay.
That's right.
He's walking us through every day. We need Jesus every day in our lives.
Did you remix that point too?
Let me see. What did I put?
Because I like your remixes.
Yeah. So you put, I need help in my present. Mine was, this is going to be ongoing.
There you go.
This is going to be ongoing.
That's good.
Okay.
This is going to be ongoing.
This is going to be ongoing.
Truth. That's right.
Right? That means it's present now.
Yes.
And it's in the future. Means we are going to constantly be helping each other out.
That's right.
That's what I...
We are not fixed.
Right.
We are fixing.
That's right. That's right.
ING. Continually.
That's right.
Right?
Ephesians 5:26 is the scripture that we have that.
Yeah.
It's a cleansing. It's a continual cleansing.
That's right.
Okay?
Good notes, girl.
Come on now.
Let's go,
take good
baby.
notes.
Let's go, baby. I see you, girl. That's good.
So funny. Let me see. What do I have here? You should not be the same person. Yep. You should. Yep. We did that. Okay. So no, ongoing. That means every day. And when you are consistently help in the present, that means you are constantly talking to each other.
That's right.
It keeps the lines of communication open.
Yep.
Communication, finances are like the number 1 and 2 things for divorce.
Yeah.
It's like the number 1 and 2 things of divorce.
Yep.
In these Unpacked series that we've been doing, and this Upset the Vows, do you know that almost all of them, there is a communication issue?
That's exactly right.
Although every week we have a different topic, almost all of the questions have a communication issue, whether it's with money, finances, relationship, I can't get through, my spouse is not listening, or every time I do try to talk, or every time I do try to be vulnerable, they don't want to hear it. It is a communication issue.
Right.
And as these problems progress without being addressed, they end up in divorce.
Yep.
So is money.
Yep.
Okay? One's hoarding the money. One's lording it over another. One's controlling and dictating it. It is number 1 and 2 of why divorce is happening. But as you're keeping the lines of communication open, as you're unpacking, as you're being vulnerable, as you're submitting, as you are doing all these things of helping each other out, it is supposed to keep these lines of communication constantly open so that we don't have room for divorce.
Right.
Because we're talking it out.
That's right.
These are preventative things to help if both of you are submitted to another.
Right.
When I hear that one of the spouse is not being open and submitted, I know that there's a problem with that person. And you always have to find out what is the deeper issue there.
That's correct.
You have to dig a little bit deeper there.
Right.
Why are they resistant?
Right.
Why are they being defensive? Why are they being rejective?
Yep.
There's something more going on in there, whether they want to admit it or not. It is what it is.
Because at the top surface, their behavior is the fruit of the issue.
That's right.
But it's not the root.
That's right.
The behavior is only letting you see the fruit, the action of it.
That's right.
But there is a root cause for that behavior.
But the fruit is frustrating. The fruit and the constant fruit shown of that behavior is frustrating.
It's bitter.
And it begins to get toxic and it wears out the other spouse. So they don't even have opportunity to get to the root of it because the fruit is poisonous.
It's good, baby.
And so, but if you can understand that this is just the fruit, but there is something deeper, that will give you a little bit of grace, but not the grace not a grace to sit in abuse. So let me be clear, okay? But it gives you a grace to understand this person needs some help.
Yeah.
This person really needs some help.
That's right.
And they may need help more than I can give it.
Yeah.
They may need help more than just my support right now.
Right, that's right.
They may need additional clinical help that I may not be enough to do.
Yeah.
And I'm okay to admit that.
Yeah. Because when you start helping your spouse, you start finding out, okay, what made you help is what they've identified or what you've identified. You might be pointing to the fruit of a situation, but the root of that may be trauma from their past.
Rightfully so.
Because every adult is dealing with whatever happened to them between 0 and 10 years old. Big facts. Not 11 through 20, 0 through 10. Everything about your whole life was formed and settled and cemented by the time you were 10. So birth to 10 has a big impact on a person's life.
On your 10 through 20.
On your 10 through 20, and then your 20 through 30.
Yep.
So, and we call this FOO, in psychology, family of origin. Everybody has their family of origin issues. So whether they came from a good family or a bad family, they're dealing with their FOO. With that said, you start digging around and getting to the root of these issues. The root might be they were sexually abused. The root might be they had a mother wound. The root might be they had a father wound. And this is not something that you can tell from the fruit.
Right.
Till you start yanking on it and you go, oh, this is deeper than just you have an attitude sometimes, or you're not submitted to authority, or you're not affectionate, or you don't want to talk about your issues and stuff like that. So your spouse might be the one to help you go to counseling, right?
Yes.
We're not asking the spouse to turn into a neuropsychologist and have all the answers.
Correct.
We're just saying be there to support that person, cheerlead them, be their coach, their supporter to go, hey, I'm so grateful that you picked this out.
Yes.
We have insurance. We're going to go get you some help, or at least some spiritual guidance. You know, we got somebody at the church that can talk to you about a certain situation.
Yes.
So it's very, very important that we get to the root of the situation, because if all you do is pluck off the fruit, it's going to grow back.
That's good, baby. That's good.
If you only pluck the fruit, it's going to grow back. This is the reason why God expelled Adam and Eve from the garden.
That's
because they took of the fruit, but he didn't cut down the tree.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
So for them to not be tempted anymore, he just put them completely outside of the place where the knowledge of good and evil was, and where the tree of life was.
Yeah.
So that they wouldn't live eternally in that state. That's why he had to remove them from that. But we have to realize that addressing the fruit is the first part of it, but it's only when we get down to the root can we shrivel the whole thing up.
Yes.
And that takes work, and I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of people don't like to go to the root of their pain.
They don't.
Because it's painful.
That's right.
Let's just be honest, right?
That's right.
As we might say, I want to be the best person I can be, right? But then when somebody tells you, you want to be the best person you can be, and you want to get the most out of it, I need you up at 5 o'clock every morning. Need you to swallow 3 raw eggs.
Yeah, that's good.
And I need you to be in the weight room with me. At 5:07. And we're gonna lift weights, and we're gonna run a mile on the treadmill, and you're like, all I want is a 6-pack.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, you're gonna get the 6-pack.
But you don't want to do what it takes.
You just got to get up at 5.
That's right.
6 days a week.
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna need you to push this huge tire that belongs on a big truck over and over again. I don't know where we make up this foolish stuff, and then I'm gonna need you to do push-ups and sit-ups, and you're like, all I wanted was a 6-pack.
Yep.
I bought a bikini and I just want to look good in. You're gonna look great in it.
Yep.
I just need you up at 5, 6 days a week. It's the same thing in a marriage. I want a great marriage. I'm just gonna need you to address your pain.
That's right. That's right.
We need you to go to the root.
That's right.
I need you to address the fact that you have father issues.
That's right.
You didn't have a dad in the home, and you don't know how to. You didn't know how to be a man for real. You learned it off music videos and rappers, and so you need some help.
That's right.
You need a mentor. You need a coach.
Free yourself.
Free yourself.
Free yourself.
Get some help.
Get some help.
So.
But pride robs so many people of it.
It does.
And pride is just really a reflection of the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
It is just a reflection of the enemy.
Yeah.
It robs you of being free.
Yep.
Because that's what the enemy wants.
Right.
He wants you to stay bound.
That's right.
He wants you to stay angry. He wants you to stay crippled.
That's right.
And so if he can keep you in this state of sheltering yourself to be angry at everybody else and bark at everybody else to hold this in, It's just you staying bound.
Yeah, it's good.
But you're looking at it as I'm protecting myself.
Yep. Yeah.
But it's a deceptive,
right.
It's a deceiving thing because he's just keeping you bound and you're not living a free life.
That's right. That's good, baby.
So yeah, that was a really good point.
Thank you, baby.
Good job, honey.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. That was good. There was something that you said there I wanted to chime on, but neither. Don't even worry about it. It was good what you said. Okay, point number 3. Point number 3 was.
Punto 3.
Help me in my future.
Mm-hmm.
Help me in my future.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, I'm not really talking about the future even along in your marriage. I'm talking about with the Lord. And addressing your bride, your spouse, presenting them spotless before the Lord. How are you preparing them before they go be with the Lord? How are you preparing each other on this earth before they meet the Father? I thought that was so profound, sweetheart. That was so profound.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah. So to me, I remixed it. Are you ready for my remix?
I want your remix.
My remix was, yours was, help me for my future.
Yes.
Mine was, whatever. We got bigger things to do.
It's good.
We got bigger things to do. We got bigger things to do.
Let's go, baby.
I know that it's completely improper English, I'm aware, but it's purpose.
It's so good.
We got bigger things to do.
We got bigger things to do.
Yes.
Yo. Hey, I'm going to just start telling you my points because yours might be better than mine. I like yours. Let me tell you why that gets me so hyped.
Come on.
The reason why that gets me hyped is because if we were to contextualize any issue we face with that in mind, the enemy wouldn't have a place to put his foot to try to take from us. Because we got bigger things to do.
We have bigger things to do.
We ain't got time for this. We got bigger things to do.
This is how I think.
We had a misunderstanding.
God has a bigger picture.
Yeah,
than what you're fighting over right here, right now.
It's bigger than this. What are we even doing?
It's bigger than your small, minuscule problem.
Yeah, we got to go to heaven.
God is much bigger.
Girl.
We need to be looking at our spouses as if we are privileged to be with them.
Mm-hmm.
I am privileged to be with Tim.
Yes. It's my honor.
It is the truth. It is a privilege to do life with this man. Your spouse should be able to say the same thing about you and not manipulated to say that.
Mm-hmm.
It is an honor and a privilege that he is my spouse. And on the day that I leave this earth, I would be grateful that I got to spend it with him. Can your spouse say that about you? Can they? Your spouse needs to be able to say that living with you has been an honor. Living with you has been a breath of fresh air. Living with you has given me life. Not living with you has been a headache every day. Living with you has been miserable. I have endured living with you. I have tolerated your presence because I signed a paper.
Wow. It's good, baby. That's good, boo.
I have stayed with you because I gave you my word. But it's been...
Hell?
Yes. It's been Hades on ice.
And Gehenna.
And Gehenna.
And Sheol.
Sheol.
Yeah.
Who wants to... That's not encouraging. But you have to ask yourself, how am I representing myself?
That's so good.
How am I giving myself to this? How am I showing up?
That's good, bro.
Is my spouse miserable because I'm in their life? Am I making them miserable because my attitude is terrible? Because I refuse to change? Because I refuse to grow up? Because I refuse to do better? Am I making my spouse work so much more harder because I'm being lazy? Am I stressing them out, making them age faster, making them get more grades because I don't want to do my part, or because I keep having these defense walls up, or because I don't want to be honest with myself that I got stuff that I don't want to unpack? You got real quiet in here. Girl, am I going off? I'm sorry. But this is the truth. This is what happens.
Oh my gosh, this is great, baby. Keep going.
I know,
you are in a little space right there. So,
I am, because it is the truth. How are we showing up to our spouse? Are we dictators? Are we servants? Are we leaders?
Yes, good.
Are we lovers?
Yes, good.
Are we friends?
Yes, good.
Are we enemies? Are we frenemies? Are we roommates? How can you answer each of those questions? If you could answer those questions, what would they honestly be? And how can you challenge yourself to be the best version of you? Not you trying to find you, because who you are is in Christ.
Yep.
So you need to know who you are in Christ first.
Yes.
That's where you will be found. But then once you realize who you are in Christ, how are you showing up for your spouse? And is living with you making them miserable? And this is to the male or the female in the relationship.
That's absolutely right.
How is living with you, are your kids affected? We need to ask ourselves these questions. And then we need to be honest with the answers. And don't lie to you. Don't lie to you. Be honest.
Oof.
And then we need to change our behaviors and our ways and our tones.
That's right.
We need to change. We need to do the work.
That's right.
That it takes.
That's right.
But there is no excuse for you to remain the same.
That's right. That's right.
So get out of a repeated rut that's unproductive for your life and start stepping into a new way that is creating good patterns, healthy habits, healthy ways, and success for your marriage. But there is no excuse. You have excuses because you don't want to change. But I'm going to challenge you. How are you showing up? Am I miserable to live with? Does it suck to be with me? And if so, I need to change that. How can I change that? Let's just be honest. We are in week 6. You have to know how valuable you are. You really are valuable. You are a treasure, and I believe that in your God-ordained marriage, God has put you together for a reason. But you need to know that you have a lot of jewels and treasure inside of you that your spouse needs and wants. So please unlock the gift that God has inside of you. Unlock the love and the passion and the compassion that God has given you for your spouse, so that you both can live a free life together. Why? Because there is a bigger picture. God has a bigger plan for both of you. And the enemy has used your situations, your past, your problems, your shame to keep you bound so that it can stop the bigger plan that God has for you. And he has tricked you into thinking that your issue is so big that you can't get past this. That, oh, I don't want her no more, or I just can't do this anymore. It is the enemy. It is Satan himself deceiving you.
Speak, girl.
And I'm telling you right now that if you shut the mouth of the enemy and ask God to say, silence this voice in my head, because Lord, you have a bigger picture for me. I want to do your will. I promise you that his plan for you is greater than what you can imagine. And the path for you is bigger than what you know or see. But you have to make some changes and stop blaming everybody else for your stuff.
It's good, girl.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. You are going to miss out on the best part of your life. You will abort the mission that God has for you, and you will give the enemy the victory. This is what he wants. He wants for you to wallow in your shame and in the past. But God is here right now. Right now. He is here. As you're watching on the screen, even as those of you in this room, he is here. And he is waiting for you to just submit to him. And I am telling you, if you do, it will be the best change of your life, in your marriage, for yourself, for your spouse, and for your children. But do not let the enemy win. If you do, he is aborting the biggest pregnancy and the best pregnancy you would have had. God is birthing something in you and your spouse that he wants to deliver. But you will allow the enemy to abort that process if you do not submit to his will. I hope you hear me, young man. I hope you hear me, woman. I am telling you what I know. Stick to God's plan. Get out of your will and get out of your own way and get out of your head. And ask God to silence the voice of the enemy. I can't say it enough. Because he's talking to you and you are listening. So stop listening and start hearing God's voice and ask him to turn up the volume of his voice because you've been confused. A lot of you are thinking you're hearing God's voice and you are taking the scripture to manipulate your spouse. I am talking to you. I am talking to you. Do not take God's word and manipulate your spouse to get your way. That is Satan. That is him working. And I'm telling you, you've listened to him long enough where you've gotten accustomed to his voice. And you need to ask the Holy Spirit to turn up the volume of God in your life so you can hear it. You can hear him. And let God's voice usurp every other voice that you've been taking in. And begin to submit to the Holy Spirit in your life. And I promise you, God will do such greater things. He will birth in you a dream that you can never imagine. So begin to submit to the Lord's voice, shut the mouth of the enemy, and watch God do a work in your life.
Light me up on this camera over here. Well, thank you so much for being part of Unpacked this week, week 6. It has been absolutely amazing.
Yes.
There is absolutely nothing that needs to be added to what my wife just said. Let me correct what the Holy Spirit just said through my wife. We believe that every single marriage has 100% chance of being effective if God is in it. And so we encourage you to do your work and help each other. And until next time, this has been Unpacked. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.